first game, so kind of figured like that was back in 2016, like November and October of 2019. So I figured I'd do one now, like just to honor like this game. Wouldn't have been streaming, or even like thought of like the idea of streaming until like maybe probably around this time actually. The best game of all time, but considering the fact that this game was considered to be like vaporware and people made so many jokes that this game was never going to come out, and it came out to this, like, you know, like to this amount of quality, then you gotta, damn, I almost broke my leg, bro. But you gotta give the game, and all of his developers like some credit for like coming out with this masterpiece. Like, I know like some people say, you know, it could have been better and stuff like that. I think that's just a little bit I guess a sense of ungratefulness mixed with like too high of expectations, you know, with all the anticipation, because people, you still have to understand that this is a game, you know, and not everything is going to be as perfect and as flawless just because of the amount of time that it took to make it. So, but for what it is, the game is phenomenal. Like the story, the game functions great, and also too, the ridiculous amount of updates and additions that they added onto it actually helped it later on than like at the first like beginning, like turn into the masterpiece that it really is. Like there's so much in-depth stuff that covers all the little loopholes and everything, explaining stuff, because they've really added a ridiculous amount of information to all of this stuff. Like when you watch the movie, when you have like the little free TV show, when you have the DLCs and everything, and then you have the Royal Edition and everything, of course, along with like the Windows PC version. Like this game has come a long way. So whoever has been sleeping on it, like at the start, who said it's bad, like I'm pretty sure like that 8 or 7, like out of 10 that you gave before, is probably just turned to like either a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. Because this game, and like its developers, like really went out of his way to appease all those people who made those complaints, because they really loved and they invested so much time into this. And I think also too, one of the reasons why I like it so much is because it's funny, but Final Fantasy VI was probably like my favorite game of the entire series. I think Final Fantasy III was actually was my favorite one, but Final Fantasy VI would be like my second. So I think it's weird, you know, I think it's weirdly ironic that the same people who invested so much time into Final Fantasy VI had a big part to play in this too. So it's like, it kind of felt like a cheat for me, because it's like, you know, like that one song by this particular artist, and they come and like help, like let's say there's some, like they mess with instruments or whatever, like you know, they come and put like some, wait, okay, that's the best one. It's like if you listen to like an old classic song, like 1980 song, you know, that you like, you're like but then like someone uses that, you know, like someone samples that, so it's like it's basically, that's kind of how it is. Like they just, you know, they kind of literally sample yeah, you know, like some developers from like Final Fantasy 6 and brought it over to Final Fantasy 16, 15. Look at me all over the place. But that's literally how it feels with this, because it feels kind of like they kind of cheated and took advantage of the fact that I liked, you know, Final Fantasy 6. Of course, that's not their intention, you know, like so many damn fans. But still, without further ado, you can tell I was level 36. I put a lot of time into this game. Don't believe what it says right there. Like, I had some problems with saves or something, so it was like, it wasn't like the most ridiculously long game I played, but it was like, I put around like maybe like 25 to 30 hours in the game. So, but for some reason, I had some problems with the saving, so I made 2 accounts. Like, not 2 accounts, like 2 save datas, and one of them got like corrupted or something. So I have this one because I just overrid it or something. Okay, so this is one of the problems, like the most serious problem I have with the game. I'm about to go check it real quick. Let me see. Because I think the biggest problem I have so far is that it seems like Final Fantasy 15, even till this day, still doesn't have a harder difficulty. Okay, so I'm looking into it right now. There's no type of like hard difficulty in Final Fantasy 15, so that's a serious predicament for me because I know it goes and scales based off of level and stuff like that. But it's just like outside of like the second half of the game, I didn't really feel too much threatened. You know, outside of when I was like working around the controls and stuff like that, the behemoth that they overly hyped in the demo, you know, and made this. And he was kind of like a joke, especially with the ability to evade, because evasion is like way better than just like having like some big brawny character. Because you know, eventually you're gonna meet somebody like Sephiroth just gonna smack you around. But if you can just navigate around a map, you know, it prevents. I mean, it provides these many opportunities to dodge, like unbox and weave and stuff like that. So I think diving into it. Let me see. I think just diving into it, it was very interesting. Like I guess with the way I was playing it, I kind of felt a little bit overpowered, if I'm being honest. But that was just me. So I said I was going to do a stream on Final Fantasy 15, but I think I might actually schedule a date when I'm going to start diving into this game heavily. I don't know. With that said, I'm moving on to something else. So just give me like a few minutes, but I'm gonna do a stream on something today. That's for sure. So get ready, dive into it. I hope you guys enjoy and everything.